Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to tell you which are the best and worst oils for you to use in everyday cooking. This video was highly requested here in the comments, so I'm sure you're going to love it. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss it. If you love tips on nutrition and health, you're going to love this channel. Take the opportunity to subscribe and activate the bell. I have new videos every day. You're going to love it. This is really a highly requested topic because I think almost everyone uses some type of oil for cooking in their daily lives, to prepare recipes, even if it's just to saute rice, cook beans, or to lightly drizzle over a salad or grill some meat. Sometimes you have to add a little to the pan because the non-stick coating isn't that great anymore. So people ask me what the best fat options are and which ones should be avoided. So let's talk more about that now. There are two main things we need to be careful about when it comes to choosing a good oil for cooking, especially when we expose it to higher temperatures. One thing is its stability at high temperatures, and the second thing is really the composition of that oil. I'm going to talk more right now at the beginning about this issue of temperature because it can influence and damage the oil, and it can cause some kind of denaturation and release harmful compounds. So let's talk about the fats that are more stable and safer to consume. This stability of the oil when you cook, when you put the pan on the stove, whatever it may be, is related to its smoke point. This is a concept I think is interesting for you to understand because it's very easy to notice visually. The smoke point is when that oil reaches such a high temperature for its stability that it denatures, releases smoke, and then it oxidizes, releasing harmful compounds like acrolein itself, and it changes the flavor and releases some components that are pro-inflammatory and bad for our bodies. They are not healthy. They are actually harmful. It's not just about losing the good part. No, you start consuming a product that truly harms you. So an example I always like to give because it's classic and very easy for you to remember now when I mention it is butter. Even though it's not an oil, I'm going to use it as an example here. When you put butter in the frying pan, you turn on the heat. The butter is solid because it was in the fridge, and then it melts. That's the point where you could cook with the butter if you really wanted to, but when it starts to bubble and burn, it turns brown, releases some clumps, gets black, and starts to smoke. At that moment, the fat has denatured and it's bad. There are toxic compounds there. The taste is terrible, it's bitter, it released acrolein, and that's exactly what you don't want. So with butter, it's very easy to see this because its smoke point is really low. So let's talk about oils that are interesting precisely because they have a higher smoke point. So now I'm going to tell you about some of the oils that I find most interesting for cooking. There's no particular order here, it's not from best to worst. These are just oils that I consider interesting. The first one, it has to be olive oil. In fact, in my recipes, it's the oil I use the most in my daily life. Olive oil comes from olives, which is an extremely healthy type of fat. It's a source of monounsaturated fats, vitamin E. Extra virgin olive oil contains many antioxidants and is naturally anti-inflammatory, so it's very good for you. Its smoke point isn't very high, but it's not super low either. It's around 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can very easily use it for sautéing or for various types of regular cooking without encountering any sort of problem at all. I usually don't do deep frying, but ideally we shouldn't let olive oil go above 350 degrees to avoid reaching its smoke point. So a tip I give is, whenever I cook something, I put the olive oil in the pan, add the vegetables, onion, garlic, whatever I want, and that will already help lower the temperature of the pan. And then, if needed, we add a splash of water, or we go ahead and add the chicken or some meat. All of this changes the temperature of the pan, the skillet, whatever you're using, so it keeps the oil from reaching its smoke point. After you start adding other foods to the pan, the smoke point usually changes, especially because you've added other ingredients, so you end up having more stability in the fat. That's why I think olive oil is an excellent option. In fact, it's recognized as a wonderful fat for everyday use. It's the foundation of the Mediterranean diet. I have a video here on the channel where I talk more about the Mediterranean diet, how to follow it, all its benefits. It's that amazing diet from Southern Europe that's good for the heart, good for your health, and promotes longevity. I'll leave that video down here for you. There's a video that talks more about all the benefits of olive oil, and it will also be in the description. Another very interesting oil to use, which I also use a lot, is coconut oil. Coconut oil has a saturated fat profile, but the fat is made up of medium-chain triglycerides, so it's much more easily used by our liver. I already have a video where I talk more about coconut oil and all its benefits, but it really is a very healthy fat. It's a naturally anti-inflammatory fat with many antioxidants, and it has an interesting ability to even improve our immunity. Of course, when we talk about the healthy fats in olive oil, coconut oil, and others that I'll mention, we're referring to their normal, everyday use. Just because a fat is healthy doesn't mean we should start consuming a lot more of it. If you replace the oil you currently use, which is of lower nutritional quality, with one of these oils, you'll gain many health benefits. But just because the oil is healthy doesn't mean you should overdo it, since they are calorie dense and can contribute to weight gain. This is a very important detail to mention, but coconut oil has a smoke point very similar to olive oil, around 350 degrees Fahrenheit as well. So in the same way you would use olive oil, you can also use coconut oil. Another oil that is extremely healthy and is now quite trendy is avocado oil. It's already being sold in some health food stores and even in some supermarkets. Its smoke point is very high, 520 degrees, so it can even be used for frying. I don't recommend frying, but if you want to do it occasionally, it can be a good option for you because its smoke point is quite high, so it doesn't denature easily. Its flavor is mild, even though it comes from avocado and all that. It doesn't actually taste like avocado. And it ends up having a wonderful profile because avocado contains an amazing type of fat. It's basically monounsaturated fat, which is one of the healthiest fats out there. It also has vitamin E, so it turns out to be a very interesting option. Another oil that has a medium to high smoke point is sesame oil. Its smoke point is 410 degrees and it contains many anti-inflammatory and bioactive compounds. It's a very healthy type of fat. In fact, there are some studies that have already shown that people who use sesame oil have greater neurological protection and more anti-inflammatory agents in their bodies. If you're looking for more of these benefits, adding sesame oil can be an option. You can use it for cooking, but it has a very distinctive flavor. It also works really well in some salads as a dressing, but in this case, you should use just a little because its flavor is very strong. Another oil that is extremely healthy, but in this case is not so suitable for cooking in a pan, is flaxseed oil. Although its smoke point is low, I wanted to mention it here as an option for you because there are things we make that don't need to be heated. For example, a salad you prepare or a homemade mayonnaise, you're not exposing them to high temperatures, so it can definitely be used as long as you don't subject it to high heat. And flaxseed contains that very interesting oil, the precursor to omega-3, which will be converted into omega-3 in our bodies and is a natural anti-inflammatory, extremely healthy. So, if you can add it to your salads or your dressings, it will be great for you. So, now that I've told you about some oils that I consider healthy for you to add to your daily routine, I'm going to talk about some oils that I consider unhealthy, which you should avoid consuming as much as possible. This doesn't necessarily have to do with the smoke point of these oils, but rather with their composition. That's what I mentioned earlier that I would talk more about later. We have different types of fats, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated. We have fats that are more anti-inflammatory, like flaxseed oil, which I mentioned earlier, that contains omega-3 precursors. And we have some types of fats that are more pro-inflammatory, which basically act like flipping a switch for inflammation in your body, as if you had two paths to follow. One path leads to a more anti-inflammatory, healthier body where everything works well, and the other to a more inflamed body, more prone to diseases and complications. So, depending on the type of fat you consume in your daily life, you will flip that switch, because if you stop to think about it, every cell in our body contains fat. That's because every cell in the body has a membrane, and the cell membrane is a phospholipid bilayer, so there's fat there, which will signal either inflammation or no inflammation. So there are some oils that make you go down this path of inflammation. So if you consume them daily, regardless of their smoke point. You fry food with it, it doesn't spoil, it doesn't smoke, but it's still not good for you. So which oils should you avoid consuming as much as possible? They are soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, and sunflower oil. Even though these oils are cheap and very common, they will put you in a more pro-inflammatory state, which is worse for your health. In fact, they can even make it harder for you to lose weight because a more inflamed body also has more difficulty losing weight. Of course, in this video, I talked about vegetable oils, but I can't talk about healthy oils and unhealthy oils without mentioning trans fat. Trans fat is an industrialized fat that was created by humans. It comes from a vegetable oil. The idea seems great because they take a vegetable oil and add a few more bonds, change a molecule, turn it into a trans fat, making it more stable at high temperatures. So it seems like a dream product. It is vegetable-based and stable at high temperatures, but it is an industrialized fat created by humans, and several studies have already shown that trans fat is very bad for inflammation, cardiovascular diseases, weight gain, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. So it really is important that you avoid consuming trans fat as much as possible. I have several videos here talking about trans fat, the worst fat there is, where to find trans fat, But basically, since it is a fat that comes from industry, it will be found in processed foods. So you won't find trans fat in a fruit or a vegetable. It won't be in natural products. The trans fat that will harm you is the fat from processed foods, so it's important that you avoid them as much as possible. I'll leave these videos below in the description. You might be surprised that I haven't mentioned fish oil because you know it's one of my favorite oils, omega-3. I love omega-3 and I think we should consume as much of it as possible. And I didn't mention omega-3 because you can't cook with it. You can't make rice with fish oil. You can't cook chicken with fish oil because everything will end up tasting like fish. There are even people who like it, but I don't think it goes well with these foods, so it's not used for cooking. But yes, it's an excellent fat. In fact, I have more videos about omega-3 here on the channel. Let me know down below in the comments if I didn't mention an oil that you usually use. I would love to see your comment. And which oil do you use the most? You already know that I use a lot of coconut oil and olive oil. I use it every day, even for some desserts. So I want to know what you use most. I would love to see your comment. Like the video, because that helps me a lot. Share it with those who need it or others who will enjoy it. Let's work together to expand this chain of good. That's what I want. See you next time. Bye.